មករួងនៅលើដីថ្មីមានមហូបចំណីលែងភ័យតង់ស្លុតមកដល់អ៊ីដាងកាច់រៀងសង្ហា
This is the Cambodian American 1.5 Generation Oral History Project. The date is February 18th, 2023. Our narrator is Bonavi Som. Oral historian is Suzanne M. We're filming in Long Beach, California, United States, with videographer Joseph Bollinger. Also present is Mariko Khan, project coordinator. How did the events of the Khmer Rouge taking over the capital of Phnom Penh, how did that affect your family?
So as a child, I was only 9 years old at that time. So as a child, I don't know what was happening, what was, what we're doing and all that. That fateful day came when in the city, the propaganda was that, we were free. We were free from class. We were free from, these things. And it sounded good. And so as a child, I was like, yay, there's no more class. There's no middle class, upper class, low, whatever. All of us are going to be equal. And that's what they free us from. Those, so that's the propaganda. So I remember being very, very excited, but as it turned out, they want us to evacuate.
It was a New Year, Cambodian New Year, So we kind of like, we're going to celebrate the New Year. So it's just my mom and I. So when mom was showing me, her jewelry, because mom, she loved jewelry. She loved her jewelry. And then, then we hear like a sound, like, outside. Like they say, get out, get out. There's gonna be a bomb or something, So my mom said she knew what happened. Khmer Rouge is, is outside. So we, because they're shouting, and then we kind of like scared. So mom said, okay, you need get some clothes. But, the clothes that we got, it's like, she said, get some old clothes, not new clothes, so they don't know who you are.
I heard a lot of bombing, and my dad would take us to the bathroom, all of us. I don't know why he did that, but we all went to the bathroom and kind of crouch, and my father would like run back and forth, So we were young, so we were like just hiding. And I don't know how long went by, and then that's when we heard like noises, basically like a celebration or something like that. And then I kind of went outside and I saw like most of the people were having like a white flag, and those were the early days of the Khmer Rouge.
A lot of stuff happened to the family. I believe we were in Battambang at that time. Like everybody else, we were pulled into the labor camps. Of course, our family were targeted. My dad is an intellect, my grandfather is a politician, so there's no hiding that. So I actually don't know how my grandfather passed away, but I know that there are 3 deaths were involved in our family, sibling-wise. My 3 sisters.
I look back, that was, I don't know how I survived. I just, it must be, this is the grace of God, So back then, when we playing during nighttime especially, so we live by the river, and the other side of the river is the slaughterhouse. We hear people all the time begging for their life, and you hear the sound, and after a while, you're like, oh my God, it's a kid. We just go and play. And by the river, of course, we always see the body floating all the time.
Yeah, nothing to eat. So there's really just nothing to eat. How do we cope with it? You know, my mom tried to help us out by trading with the people, Mulatan, for rice. And she got caught. And so she was put into a extra punishment camp. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And my dad knew about it, so then he went and said, oh, I'll take your place. You know, can I take my wife's place? And they said, sure, you can do that. We'll put you into the, punishment camp, or what they call those. But then what they did was, they didn't let my mom out.
So they both went?
They kept them both. So they told my dad that you shouldn't have done that because you only should be faithful and loyal to Angka. Yeah. So because they were tortured, and he was tortured more because of that, when he came out, he didn't. He was so sick. He was broken. So he didn't last very long, and then so he was really sick. So they shipped him out to hospital. Basically, it's just a place for people who are no longer useful, Mm-hmm.
I told myself not to speak, so then I didn't speak. I didn't speak to anybody. It's like when I kind of woke up, I didn't want to speak, and then one of the nurse saying, "What's wrong with you? Are you dumb now? You cannot speak." And so from that on, I didn't speak with anybody. Not sure if the idea or just so tired, but from that on until 1979, that's when I speak again.
This is what I heard. When my dad disappeared, we only have 7 days left before they take our family to kill. So, and I think my father know that already. So he went to Thailand. My mom gave him some gold to buy some, rifle, gun or grenade or whatever that he can bring it over to bring us to Thailand in case the Khmer Rouge was after us.
We will stay in the jungle for a long time, I would say 8 or 9 months after the war was over. Even though the Vietnamese invaded Cambodia or took over Cambodia, and we still in the jungle, hiding from the Khmer Rouge. If they find us, they would kill us. Mm-hmm. So we live off in the jungle. At nighttime, we come down to steal stuff. Fruit, vegetable, whatever we can steal, we go up to the jungle, hide in there. We do this trip like a week at a time. We come in, we steal as much as we can, we go high and eat. When we run out of food, we come down again. So we were in the jungle and all that.
We walk by foot. She doesn't know where to go, but she said just stay on the main road because that's where to go, like up north or whatever to Thailand. I'm not sure the direction. So she just do that. And then we see other people too, like walking, marching, go to the border. But the most significant part was when we hit the border, Thailand, you have to cross the minefield. So that was really another hurdle. So luckily there was a guide to help us cross the minefield. He's tell us like, just get in one line, follow my step. And we did that, but we heard like a big, loud minefield went off the back of us, maybe 3 or 4 people behind me. And at that point, when I heard that boom, it shocked me. Like, it's very frightening. And so that moment, I felt like a wing of an angel wrapping around me, which is my mom. So yeah, my mom is my hero.
នៅក្នុងពេលអ្នកមីងហើយគ្រួសារអ្នកមីងនៅជំរំនៅក្នុង ពេលហ្នឹងអ្នកមិញមានវត្ថុជាអនុស្សាវរីយ៍ពីពេលនេះខ្លះអី
មានពេលដែលមីងមកនៅពេលមីងមកដល់ July 1979 មីងចាំថាមីងនឹងសធានាំគ្នាទៅនឹងទៅរកទឹកថ្លាថ្លាយកមកលក់ដើម្បីបានលុយបន្តិចតួចចាប់ផ្ដើមរកស៊ីអីព្រោះអត់មានលុយអីគេណាហើយក៏បានទៅយកទឹកយកអីមកលក់ទៅបានបន្តិចតួចក៏ធ្វើបបរអីលក់បន្តិចតួចបង្អែមមីងចាំដល់ពេលបានកម្រៃខ្លះមីងក៏ទៅទិញថ្នាំជក់ហើយមីងទិញទៀនដល់មីងដើរប្រម៉ូទទៀនអស់មានប៉ុន្មានមីងទិញយកទាំងអស់ដល់ទៅយប់ឡើងអត់មានណាមានលក់អីមីងលក់ថ្លៃមួយជាពីរទៅបើមីងមានឡើងបន្តិចទៅបានមីងអាចទិញសរងទិញអីបាន
Yeah. So we became a normal, regular refugee, supposedly. And I think we lived there like a year or so. And this is a part I didn't add in the writing. And all of a sudden, we have Khmer Rouge breaking into the camp and taking girls and raping them. So at night, we run. If we hear them coming on that section of the camp, we go that side. So this is like the camp already closed, you know. So that was happening as well. So, yeah. But my mom know like how to like. She know how to protect us. Like daytime, don't go out. Don't let people know that you live here, or have young people. So we gone through that, and then we got sponsored by my brother, and then we left there. We went to Chonburi, right? And we lived there, I think, short period of time just to process the paper.
គាត់គេបាញ់គ្នារួចហើយបានក៏ត្រឡប់មកវិញគេយកពួកខ្ញុំទៅនៅជ្រុំខៃដាង ជារុំខៃដាងហ្នឹងកាលហ្នឹងឆ្នាំចិត្តដាច់ហើយចិត្តដាច់79ខ្ញុំទៅនៅកម្ពុជាឆ្នាំ80ដល់80ខ្ញុំត្រឡប់គេឲ្យយើងនៅនឹងធ្វើតេស្តធ្លាក់81នៅជារុំខេត្តកម្ពុជាដែរដល់ពេលគេឲ្យយើងមកនៅស្រះកែវមកបានមួយខែយើងត្រឡប់មកនៅស្រះខៃដាងវិញ ខៃដាងវិញចឹងទៅរហូតដល់ខ្ញុំមានឈ្មោះចេញមកឈុនបុរីឆ្នាំ85ឈុនបុរីរួចទៅបានខ្ញុំនៅនឹងមួយខែឈុនបុរីបានគេឲ្យយើងមកនៅត្រង់ស៊ីតប្រសិទ្ធដោយថាគេមើលខ្លួនយើងរួចទៅមួយខែដែរបានគេឲ្យយើងចេញទៅនៅហ្វីលីពីន6ខែ មួយខែហ្នឹងខ្ញុំក៏រៀន ASL ជាប់6ខែហ្នឹងទៅគេឲ្យយើងមក US ខែ11ថ្ងៃ27ឆ្នាំ85ខ្ញុំមកដល់សហរដ្ឋអាមេរិក
Well, we first came here, of course, California is the first night touchdown, San Francisco, through airport, and after we land and took hour to get processed, there's so many paperwork, and that process when we waited the entire day and then transfer the plane and we get off LAX. So we were all, so they came to pick us up. So we all were placed in this one house, about 30 of us, and one bathroom. And I remember we were just reunited, after 8 years. Mom and I get to meet my brother, and so and all the relatives, they lived together in this 3-bedroom house and 1 bathroom. And I had no idea
how that was able to work, but it worked because we were just so grateful that all of us able to reunited, and it was the happiest moment that I ever had.
And coming to America, I do remember being on a plane. I think we were like in the front actually, and I remember just being sick the entire time. I didn't even want to eat. I just wanted to sleep the whole time. And when we got to America, I remember I was given a doll. I don't remember who gave it to me, but it was like the first toy I had because I don't remember having any toys in Cambodia. I learned English by watching TV. My favorite shows at the time to learn English were Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers. Sesame Street because we learned the alphabet and things like that. So that's how I learned. And then Mr. Rogers, later on, I learned different things from watching that show. Mm-hmm. And I just watched a whole lot of TV just to learn English. And so by the time I started school, I was 8 years old in kindergarten. And then that's when I learned, even though I was 8 years old, oldest in the class, I was kind of like the smallest because I was malnourished. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I learned alphabet, how to write and things like that.
For me, it's important for any survivor, whether 1.5 or older generation, to share what they experience so that the later generation can understand. I think that anyone in my generation, if they have something to share, they can share it, and hopefully that they can find closure through understanding that missing link, right?
We have a lot of our Cambodian people who are a positive contributor to the communities. We have Cambodians who are psychiatrists, psychologists, principals of schools, firemen, police officers. And so all of us have one thing in common, and that is because of what we went through, it allowed us the ability to be of service to others. And so we stand tall today because of the experience that we've gone through. And so, Pol Pot might have taken away my dad, my siblings, but they didn't take away me.